Hi guys, we are in week 16. We're starting a new unit. This unit actually kind of sets the stage for the novel that we're going to be reading next semester. So we're going to be reading To Kill a Mockingbird. We're going to do some activities in these last few weeks here as our semester ends to give us some context for that novel. The novel is one of my favorite novels, so I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. But we're going to kind of learn about the time period that novel was written in, so we get an idea of what those characters went through, all right? And an idea of what the people in our own country went through during that time in history. So first thing, you are going to go to the blog and write 3 sentences. Same thing we typically do at the beginning of a new unit. You guys are going to tell me what you need to be successful with the embedded assessment at the end of this unit. So what you're going to be asked to do at the end of this unit is to create a presentation that talks about the historical, cultural, social, and geographical context of the novel To Kill a Mockingbird. Basically, you're going to tell me what was happening during this time period in the United States. All right, that gives us just like an idea of what these people were going through. So it says to do that you're going to do an oral presentation for your embedded assessment at the end of this unit. Obviously, we can't do oral presentations unless you guys want to upload some YouTube videos for me, which maybe we can do for some extra credit. But what I'm going to ask you to do is just to create a presentation that you can send me that tells me what you have learned about the context that this novel was set in. All right? So write 3 sentences in the blog telling me what you're going to need to be successful in creating this presentation. Maybe you have no idea what history or what time period this novel was set in. Maybe you have no idea about like what even cultural means or what social means or that sort of thing. So tell me what you're going to need in order to be successful. There's no wrong answers unless you just don't do it. All right? Next, we're going to look at some pictures, okay? So the pictures aren't on your springboard activities, which is yet another reason why looking at the announcements is so important, because I put everything there. So you're going to look at these pictures. These pictures are all taken from the time period that the novel that we're going to read, To Kill a Mockingbird, was set in. And these pictures speak volumes. Like a picture is worth 1,000 words. You're going to see that here, okay? So all of these pictures kind of show us what it was like to live during this period where Jim Crow laws were very much in effect. There was the whole separate but equal thing going on when they really weren't equal at all. Just blatant racism you will see in these pictures, all right? So as you're looking at them, I really just want you guys to feel, all right? Put yourselves in these people's shoes. Atticus will say that. There's a little foreshadowing from Miss Chronister. Think about what it must have been like to live in this time period. Think about maybe if you weren't a minority, think about what you would have done. Would you have like gone on with the larger group and been okay with this racism, or would you have tried to stand up and be a voice for them? How would you have felt? So there are some pictures here I want you to look at. And then you're going to fill in this graphic organizer that I've got there for you. I've done the first row for you. So I took the picture that says no dogs, Negros, or Mexicans on it. Can you imagine seeing that sign nowadays? So I wrote that photo. In the photo column, I just made a note of what photo I was referring to. Then in the observation column, it says note the details of the image of the photo. So basically just tell me what you see. In this photo, I see a business owner blatantly displaying a sign that certain groups are not welcome in his business. So that's what I see. Then in your reflection column, you're going to tell me what is your response. But make sure you don't say any bad words or anything, because that's probably what we're thinking, right? Because we would just, these are horrible. So my reflection, my response to this is that it's horrible. They thought Mexicans and Negros, we don't even use that word anymore because it's so disrespectful, were on the same level as an animal, which is just disgusting. Like, I can't even believe that they grouped people with an animal. It's unbelievable. And then in the last column, you've got your questions. So what questions come to mind that might lead to like further exploration, further research that you might want to do? You don't have to do the research, just what questions are you having, basically. So I wonder what it was like to live in a world where people not only didn't want to serve you, but also thought you weren't more valuable or worthy than an animal. That's my question and response to that. So I've got the first column for the first picture filled out. You're going to continue with the other 4 pictures here. There's 4 more pictures that I want you guys to do that for. All right. After that, you have a writing prompt. So it says summarize what you learned from the photographs. This sets the context of the setting of To Kill a Mockingbird. So these are the kind of pictures that would have been up in restaurants. These are the things that would have been going on during the time period of this novel. So I want you to use this format. You're going to have a topic sentence. Then you're going to have a text detail. So you're going to tell me something about one of the images. So you might say in the image that it says, or no dogs, Negros, or Mexicans, a business owner is blatantly not serving a group of people. Then you're going to have your commentary, so your thoughts on that. So use the graphic organizer because you've already put your thoughts down, right? Then you're going to have another text detail from a different image, commentary on that image, and then a conclusion sentence. So this is going to be 6 sentences for your paragraph. Topic sentence, text detail, commentary, text detail, commentary, conclusion. All right? Lastly, again, make sure you're paying attention to what I have in the announcements, because in the 3.3, setting the context springboard activity, you're just going to do the graphic organizer, which is number 5, and then number 6 through 10. So in 3.3, you will see 2 articles. One is super short. It's called Jim Crow, Shorthand for Separation. So 3 short little paragraphs here. And then the next one is actually just a list of all the different Jim Crow laws. So as you read through these laws, know that these were the laws in effect during this time period. These are real laws that we had in our country, these Jim Crow laws that people fought very hard during the civil rights movement to outlaw. All right, so these were actual laws in our country. As you read these laws, kind of group them. You will see, you'll see intermarriage come up a couple times. So you might, in your graphic organizer, create a category, intermarriage, and then you're going to summarize all those intermarriage laws. You have to create 3 to 4 different categories. So intermarriage might be one. Recreation might be one because it talks about restaurants and baseball games, and I think I saw something for circus tickets or something. Yeah, circus tickets. There was even a law about circus tickets in regard to race. So recreation could be a way to put all the fun activities that people do. So you're going to come up with 3 to 4 categories that you could put these laws in, and then you're going to summarize the laws that fit into that category. So if you do intermarriage as one of the categories, summarize all the laws about marriage or intermarriage in the right-hand column of the graphic organizer. If you do recreation, summarize all the laws about restaurants and circuses and that sort of thing in the right-hand side of the graphic organizer. All right? So I've got a couple definitions because we just read a couple different sources. We read 2 different articles. Those were 2 different sources. One was a primary source. So a primary source is just the original document, an original document of something. And then a secondary source is somebody talking about a primary source. All right, so somebody talking about the laws might be a secondary source. Okay, so you have to tell me. You have to answer number 6 through 10, and I've got the questions written in your announcements for you. So which of the sources is a primary source? And then tell me what the benefits of a primary source are. So what are the benefits of having the actual document? And then which of the sources was a secondary source? And then you're going to tell me for number 9, what are the benefits of a secondary source? So what's the benefits of having somebody's commentary on an original document? And then lastly, what source was more helpful to you in answering questions about Jim Crow laws and your research about Jim Crow laws? So which one gave you more information or more insight? Which one impacted you more? You're just going to answer that in a sentence for me. Make sure you tell me why though. All right. So pay attention to the announcements. Make sure you have everything I've got here in the announcements. Make sure you answer all of it. If you have any questions, let me know. This is really important, setting up the context, because we live in a very different time now, thankfully, than the time period where this novel was set. So we've got to kind of get our minds in the right space in order to really fully understand what's going on in this novel that we're going to read. All right, so reach out if you have any questions for me. I'm always here to help. I want you guys to feel confident and be successful, so I'm here anytime. All right, get those assignments in, and I'll see you next week.